Hey y'all, what's going on? Welcome back to another edition of Old School versus New School. What's going on, Alex?
Old school versus new school. Back again. What's up?
What's going on, man?
Man, I'm chilling, man. It's been a rough couple of weeks, but still here, still kicking. Ready to get back to the show and do some work. How you been?
Yeah, it's definitely been a rough week for both of us last week. A lot of ups and downs. As y'all can see, I was missing in action at home here last week. But we back at it, with
Yeah,
new levels, new devils, and with the good come the bad. So gotta deal with it.
that's it. Got to deal with it and deal with some more bad the stuff we're going to talk about today. A lot of nonsense going on in the world today. Got to be talked about.
Yeah, for sure. Welcome everybody that's coming in the building. Nisi, I see you. The blueprint. Okay. Entertainment Tea Uncut. Make sure y'all subscribe to Entertainment Tea Uncut in the blueprint. Okay. We got Big Skoka in the building. What's up, Skoka? The Ghetto Galaxy is on the way, y'all. Make sure y'all keep a lookout for that. And just get comfortable because we got a few things to touch on, like Alex said.
Yeah, hit them like and subscribes on the way in and share the video out. Let's get some more people in the chat.
Yes, for sure. Tap on that like. And love notes can be passed in this class, okay? The cash app is right there on the screen, okay? Hey, we building over here. He said, TheeEnicole and chat, respect and Monday blessings. Old school is always in the lead because these new schoolers is destroying this earth with their wicked ways. Well,
That's
tell us
right.
how you really feel.
I can agree with that.
The old schools is coming in heavy today, y'all.
That's it. I agree with that 100%. 100.
I'm sure you do. But speaking of old school, let's just get right on into it. Everybody's talking about this. Y'all know I usually wait so I can get all the details. And actually, right before we went live, I got a brand new piece of this story. I am definitely talking about the brawl that happened on what was that, a river?
The dock, the boat dock.
Yeah, but what body of water was that?
Alabama?
Okay.
Yeah.
So, I just got a new piece of the story. So let's just jump right in and take a look at that, and then we'll come back with the actual fight, But I have never seen this video, so this is my first time looking at it with you guys. So let's see what's going on.
That guy in the white shirt is crew from our little dinner cruise boat. He got off our ship to go over there to move that black pontoon boat on his own because those guys who parked there were told not to leave it there and they left it there. So he's just pushing it off. That's funny. Took matters into his own hands. I love it. I hope the police give him a big old ticket. Ooh, confrontation with the owner of the boat. Those guys are all drunk. We all got to throw your ass in the water. Move, bitch! Get out the way! Get out the way! Get out the way!
So as you can see, something that I hadn't seen yet is that he had previously already told them that they needed to move because they were blocking other people before the brawl had even started. So he took it upon himself to get in the boat and move it.
Now,
So
was he an employee? He was employed by the dock or the boat company?
you said what now?
Was he employed by the boat company or the dock? He's an employee.
Guard. Yeah, he the security guard. Hey Ben, what's going on? Welcome. Yeah, he was the actual security guard for the dock. And he had already told them that they weren't supposed to put their boat right there.
Okay, so he's an authority figure there. He has every right to be there, and he has to keep order. Okay, so let's make that clear. That's his job.
Yeah. We building over here said this is definitely some new shit going on right here. But old school was holding it down, you know. Old school was holding it down. He was doing his job, you know what I'm saying? And I did not see that part, you know what I'm saying? So this is the part that I saw.
Along with everybody else.
Right. Okay, let's go on to the next part.
This is breaking news.
Tonight we're following breaking news near Montgomery's Riverfront Park. A fight beside the river has led to multiple arrests. Welcome to the news at 10. I'm Brady Talbert. A viewer sent us this video which shows the fight just feet from water. A witness claims it started because a pontoon boat was blocking the dock where a riverboat was trying to park. You can see more people jumping in as that fight played out. Well, soon after, Montgomery police arrived at the scene. They say a large group of people were involved in this brawl. Our crew saw people in handcuffs. MPD says several people have been detained and any charges are pending tonight. MPD told us about this attack just in the past hour. We're going to keep you updated on this developing story.
Hold your ground! And he's still in moving boat. Still in moving boat.
See what
They better get him a panelist.
Oh my God!
So that is the results. Hey, everybody that's coming in. Hey, Goddess of Love D. Hey, how are you doing?
OMG.
But yeah,
OMG.
So before Alex goes off into the deep end, because we know that's where he is about to swim. Okay. He said, I definitely know for a fact that parents of these children, grandparents, are some type of kinfolk to Martin Luther King or know him personally. This is Alabama. So that's what I wanted to bring up. I actually know some people who are down in Alabama, and I talked to them this morning, and they were saying, on one hand, because I brought this up on previous shows, especially on Colorful Combo, I posed the question, when is it okay to fight? Like, when is it appropriate to actually fight? When is it appropriate to jump in? When is it appropriate to mind your business? And I'm sorry, but not sorry. This is absolutely an instance where they were supposed to jump in and help that man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, TheeEnicole, let me tell you.
Talking about play it again.
Yeah, play it again. One more again.
Yes, man. He said play it again. It's a long video. Y'all want me to play it again?
Yeah.
Hey, YNFL, what's going on?
Well, we gotta get these points in. Everybody's seen the video. It's been trending. It's been hot video. Yeah. But let me say this, TheeEnicole, and to everybody in the chat, and hopefully this will come across some of our white brothers and sisters. And I want to tell them this. This is simply,
wait, did you say our white brothers and sisters?
Yeah, right.
They your brothers
and sisters. This is simply white privilege rearing its ugly head once again. Okay, and they got called on it. And I want to tell every white person out there within the sound of my voice that black people are sick of your shit, and we're getting more angrier and angrier and angrier by the day because y'all keep pulling this white privilege card. We're not ever going back to the 1920s or 30s or 40s when y'all were lynching us, raping us, treating us any old kind of way, doing whatever y'all want to do to. It's not going back there. So y'all need to get a grip. Ever since Donald Trump got his trifling ass in office and started selling y'all all of this dope that y'all been getting, this mental dope that y'all been getting, y'all really believe that this is your shit. We didn't build this. Black people didn't do anything for y'all, okay? We built this country. Our people died in wars. Y'all treated us terribly, okay? Now, everybody else y'all did shit to. You paid them reparations. You paid the Japanese reparations for Hiroshima and Nagasaki. You paid the Jews reparations for the Holocaust. The shit didn't even happen here. America and Germany paying Jews reparations, okay? You're paying the Native Americans getting reparations in the form of casinos and reservations and things of that nature. Everybody's getting reparations except black people. We are so tired of y'all bullshit, okay?
Which, let's be honest, the Holocaust did not happen how y'all think it happened, but we'll save that for another show.
Whatever, that's another discussion. It didn't happen here, okay? So when you get treated, most people in bad marriages, they can't stand to be mistreated or go through a bad marriage for 5 or 6 years. They tearing each other apart, okay? We done dealt with these people's bullshit for 430 plus years of their bullshit. We are tired now. They don't get it. And they keep trying to pull the white privilege card. If you don't understand how we feel, we're going to make you understand how we feel. We're not going to let you forget our history. We're not going to let you forget your history. You did what you did. It's time to pay the piper. Okay? The sins of the father are visited on the sons. And that's what white folks are going through right now, and they can't deal with it. But you better deal with it because you created the mess you got to clean up. You got to clean it up. I'll stop there for now.
Yeah, so I was saying that first I want to say to we building over here. I was saying the brawl was the result of the security guard telling them they cannot park right there. That's all I was saying. That was the result of. And then also when I talked to the people that I know down in Alabama, they were expanding on how, they are in Alabama. They are exactly what Alex said, tired of the bullshit. You know what I'm saying? And he said, the spirit, the soul of the past is still there on that dock. You know what I mean? So for
This is
them
it.
to, yeah, like they tired of it. You know what I'm saying? Hey, Madam Oracle, what's going on?
I didn't even mention that they paid the Koreans reparations. Everybody getting paid except the motherfuckers who built this country, which is us. And you want to come and steal today in 2023, and then you're going to talk to us and treat us any old kind of way? That shit is over. That shit is dead. This motherfucker will burn down before we even imagine going back to the 20s, 30s, and all that bullshit. We're not having it.
It's definitely a new day. Definitely a new day. So go on, Alex. Tell us what you think about just the whole situation overall. Do you think that they handled it appropriately? What would you have done while you were there? Like, how do you feel about it? Because we know how I feel. I would have been right in the middle of the fight.
I'd have got in there and beat the dog shit out of them. Plain and simple. It is, I don't want to advocate violence because I don't want this happening all over the country. But again, this is not a mess that we created. They created a mess that they have to clean up. Okay? But we always talk about how black folks don't stick together. We don't stick together in business. We don't stick together in our neighborhoods. We tear down our own neighborhoods. We do this, we do that. And a lot of that is true. But in an instance like this, when we can see black folks coming together, united for a cause to fight, I'm all for that. Every day, all day. Because if I see it, I'm getting in that and I'm brawling. Period.
Yeah, I want to say that I do commend those people that were there that came to the assistance of him instead of just having their phones out watching, because it could have got a lot worse, him by himself, because we saw in the beginning they was jumping him. They didn't care. They didn't care. I say this time and time again over here. We see day in, day out, week in, week out, month in, month out, and go so on. They don't care about us. We have to start caring about each other. We have to start protecting each other. So I'm glad to see it. I hate that it happened, but I'm so glad that they came to the assistance of that man.
How many times have we seen mobs of white people jump on one black person? Okay? It always takes a mob of them to jump on one of them. They don't ever
want to do it one-on-one.
But you know what? When they saw that motherfucking heat coming, okay, they tried to get the fuck out of Dodge, but they couldn't. You know what I mean? And the only reason that last brother that the cops arrested, the one that was smashing him upside the head with chairs and shit, the only reason he got arrested is because the cops seen him do it. Okay, they were there looking at him. They saw him assault two people with a chair, possibly even three. But if they didn't see it, he wouldn't have got arrested. They had to do their job because they saw it. Okay, but again, I don't advocate the violence, but when it's necessary, I'd have been right there with them brawling, point blank, period.
Yeah, and from what I heard, it's gonna definitely be arrests on both sides. So
this is going to continue, TheeEnicole. This is going to continue until America does the right thing by black people. This is not getting better; it's getting worse. And to all those black people who were under some kind of delusion that when Obama got elected, things would get better for blacks, things actually got worse. And this is not necessarily a knock on Obama when you understand what he was up against, but things actually got worse for black people when he got in office. Okay, look where we are right now. Are we better off pre-Obama or post-Obama?
I definitely think worse. I mean, he helped everybody but us. Everybody got something done for them but us.
Because he couldn't do it. Because had he done it, his ass would have been assassinated. Period. He couldn't do it.
Over here says this is just the start of what's going to happen in America. I'm so glad I will be in Costa Rica with my family. Okay, come through Costa Rica.
Mm. he getting the fuck out of Dodge. That's what he doing.
I want to go too. Shit. I definitely want to go.
I mean, listen, you know, how many videos have we been seeing, TheeEnicole, within the last 3 years of white folks antagonizing black people with the N-word, calling us boys or disrespecting us or hitting our women or spitting on our women, and they getting their fucking wigs split. But at least they had to say the word nigga. I mean, they just had to say it. They don't care how they get beat.
What gets me about that, though, Alex, what really, really makes me angry in those moments is that they will do that and then turn around and play the victim. All the time. And that's in any circumstance, not just like racially driven, but I just don't like anyone who's the antagonizer. And then when somebody pop back, now you're the victim. Oh, really?
Yeah, white women are the best for that. They do that all the time. They pop off.
Let me get the
They pop off, and then when that heat come, they play victim. Yeah, you put a disclaimer up because this is out there for posterity. We sick of y'all bullshit. Don't stop coming at us the wrong way. You gonna respect us whether you like it or not. And I don't care if the government plans this kind of disease or this kind of thing, or we're not going nowhere. They've been trying this shit for centuries. Okay?
And we're not doing anything but pissing themselves off because we built to last. They see that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We built to last.
They've had every scheme in the book to try to break our systems down and destroy our bodies and wreck us economically, and every scheme in the book, and they still doing it. But they stand in front of these cameras and talk about how this is an equal America. We're doing better. We've crossed a lot of lines. We're improving. But no, you're not, because you go right back and you close those doors in private and think of different ways to fuck with black people. You do this all the time. This is nothing new. The only difference is now is you've made us so angry to the point where a white person can't say nothing to us. It could be hello, and we'll go, what the fuck you say, motherfucker? And they'll go, I just said hello. Oh, hi. This is how angry black people are right now.
We build over here says, I've been telling all my friends and people, invest in a country where there is a lot of tourism. Buy some land, buy a house, learn how to speak Spanish, Portuguese, and French. Very good advice. Very good advice.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I wanted to start off. Go ahead. I'm Alex. My bad.
No, you asked me, TheeEnicole, what were my thoughts in totality about the video? Yeah. You know, with all the violence and everything. What are your thoughts about the totality of it all? Everything you know now, up to this point, new developments may come out, whatever. Up to this point, what are your feelings?
Well, I'm just gonna say the naked truth. You know what I mean? I feel like that's the only language they understand. I mean, you said we're not gonna let them forget our history, and we're not gonna let them forget their history, right? Yep. Well, they solve everything with violence. Over there and over here. They used to kill and torture their own people. So what do you think they're going to do to us if we allow it? You know what I'm saying? So I feel like that's the only language they understand, to be quite honest. It is what it is. Were they thinking about that when they was killing us, drowning towns, burning towns, hanging towns? You know what I'm saying? We have to put our foot down at some time. I mean, you know what I mean?
All they understand is violence and money. That's it. They don't care about nothing else.
Yeah, that's how I feel about it. I mean, I would hope that it wouldn't be that way, but it is what it is.
And why is it when you speak in your mind and saying things like that, you don't put the disclaimer up?
Because they already know this TheeEnicole. You feel me? It's TheeEnicole. I mean, You came here to hear what I got to say. You know, Alex, we don't know what he gonna say. We don't know what Alex gonna say. But you know what? I got you. Because we a team on Old School versus New School. So let me just go ahead and throw that on up there.
Yeah.
Because what it said at the bottom, TheeEnicole's opinions are her own. Okay?
Mm-hmm. What's fair is fair, right?
Period. So I did want to start with that topic because I do applaud them for helping that man, as I said. But our next topic is not so pretty. It's not so pretty.
And this one was?
You said what?
And this one was pretty?
Well, I'm saying I feel, you know, we got some points on the table, you know.
Okay.
And in my eyes, it's a win. As opposed to him being jumped and beat down by himself. Them just watching and letting it happen. So I'm glad for the progression. Yep, sure is.
Mm-hmm. And let me say this last point, TheeEnicole. But believe it or not, there are white people that are tired of white people's shit. And I'll leave that there.
And that's a fact. That's definitely facts. So let's move on to the next topic.
Well, turns out that 65-year-old man could really fucking throw up.
All right, so for our next topic, shout out to Indisputable with Dr. Rashad. He doing his thing over there. I really, really like his channel. The link to his page is in the description of this video. And so I'm not even going to say anything about it. I'm just going to jump right into it. And this happened sometime last week, I believe. Don't hold me to that date, but like I said, the link to this video and his whole channel is in the description of this video, Indisputable with Dr. Rashad. So let's get into this video.
New video shows the moment a mother used her own daughter as a human shield during a police standoff.
The 14-year-old girl's mother's now behind bars, and tonight, a deputy who was able to help save the child's life is speaking out. Reporter Micah Hatfield joins us live with surveillance video that shows the harrowing moments, Micah.
Gina and Eric, certainly this was a very intense situation. I was able to speak to one of the deputies who was on scene today, and she told me that Tanisha Henry got out of the car and pretty much immediately put this young woman in a headlock. Herself and the other deputies on scene didn't know who that person was at the time.
At that point, I 100% believe that we had a hostage situation.
Not just a hostage, but a teen girl being used as a first line of defense against police. It wasn't the first time last Thursday night that law enforcement says Tanisha Henry, a theft suspect, put her daughter in harm's way. She led them on a more than 25-mile chase with speeds exceeding 100 miles per hour.
At a point, she did end up exiting and going the wrong way.
And ended in a strip center parking lot on Cullen just off the Beltway when her car ran out of gas. That's according to the Precinct 8 Constable's office. Nearby surveillance captured Henry exit the car, approach the passenger side, and pull her daughter out of the car.
So not only did this lady steal with her daughter, not only did she go on a high-speed chase with her 14-year-old daughter, but when she gets out and the police are ready to confront her, she uses her own child for a bulletproof vest. What are we doing? So that's why I say it's a small win, but do you see what we still have to deal with? What was she doing?
You know, TheeEnicole, my brother always says, you know, fucking is grown folk business. And what he means by that is when you create life by having sex, everybody's not meant to be a parent, a mother, or a father. Anybody can have a child. It doesn't take much. Okay? It takes 2 minutes to make a baby. Okay? I made
so
4 children.
About 2 minutes, huh? Oh,
I made 4 children in 8 minutes. So it don't take much.
Y'all heard it here first, ladies.
So, but we always get on the bad fathers. But what we're seeing more and more today, TheeEnicole, we're seeing all these horrible mothers now starting to come to light in any number of fashions, whether they're whoring around, whether they're stealing, whether they're abusing their husbands, their families, their children. We're seeing this more and more from these mothers. And we got to hold them accountable because we all know women don't like accountability. They don't like it. Okay. But the more these kind of videos pop up, they have to look at it and say, we got to start holding these women accountable. This woman, because I'm not even going to call her a mother, had no business ever having a child. Your life should be sacrificed for the sake of your child any day of the week. Your life has to be sacrificed. You don't use your child as a shield.
I wouldn't even call her a woman, you know. And it's hard to even call her an animal. Even animals protect their children.
It's so much that you can call her, and none of it's flattering. Okay. Right. Now, I'm not sure what was on her mind, whether she got mental illness. Something's wrong with her because she went on a theft spree. Then she drove 25 miles or whatever the car chase was to get away from the police.
Went the wrong way on the highway, so could have killed both of them at that moment too.
Right. Or more people in a car chase.
Right.
Could have hit some folks. So clearly she's disturbed. But we always have trepidation along these social media lines or news or so forth, calling women out on their bullshit. Okay? Especially, like, this is a Black woman, but we certainly have issue calling white women out. But it just so happens this happened to be a Black woman. So we'll focus on that at the moment. Okay? Everybody should not be a parent. Parenting is serious business. If you can't deal with the stress of parenting, take some motherfucking birth control. Don't have any children. This is why when I asked the question, TheeEnicole, a couple of weeks ago, we were here, and I asked the question, who's more responsible for birth or the woman? Who should be more responsible? I asked, right? And I knew both people should be, the man and the woman should, and that's true. However, if I was a woman and I had to carry this child in my stomach for 9 months, I got to be more responsible because I got to carry this child. And if I don't want to carry this child or be responsible, then I got to protect myself more so than that man. Because where I go, my stomach go. Okay? So whenever she get up and go anywhere, that big belly go with her. Whenever the man get up and go, he got an empty belly. He can go wherever he want to go. So we don't treat children as we should with these kind of parents. We just don't. They don't see it. I don't know. Common sense ain't common no more. There's a lot of mental illness running around out here. Life is stressful and people can't deal with it. And they're snapping. Everybody is snapping. Everybody's angry. There's something got to give, TheeEnicole. I don't know. I just don't know.
Hey, Metallic, what's going on? Welcome. Yeah, this is hard for me, being a mom, a real mother that, I'm definitely gonna kill and die for mine. I just can't imagine. I can't imagine that situation. Not before we even get to the most heinous part, but even like stealing and stuff like that. As a mother, there's certain choices I have to make because I have to come home to her every night. Period. Like, I'm not going to jeopardize that. So that's number one. So you were stealing with your child. That's number one dumb situation. And then the rest, it just gets worse and worse as the story went on. You know what I'm saying? Like, my mind is like,
TheeEnicole, I've known of situations where women have gone into department stores like Macy's and things like that, and boost clothes with their children, having their children assist them, minor children, okay, or using their children as drug mules, doing this kind of stuff, or selling their children to drug dealers so they can get high and things
Yeah,
like that.
I can't imagine, man.
I mean, these stories go on, but see, we don't hear about them. So all we do is condemn men.
I've definitely heard about them now.
But these are women we're talking about now. Anytime a woman can sell her child for a rock of crack, come
I
on
wonder
now.
what We Building over here says. He says, first of all, he's talking to Nicole, y'all. So we need to find Nicole and we need to ask her. We need to ask Nicole, what kind of new school shit is this, Nicole? Nicole, we talking to you. Okay. Putting a baby in front of you to protect you from the police officers, that is lower than Carly lying about her disappearing. Black women don't lose. Now, you know, we building over here. I got to mess with you because where's my E? But it's tragic. Like I said, the Carly situation, that's somewhere else. We definitely gonna bring that back up. Not today, but we definitely have to revisit that situation. But this right here, like it's sickening. It's actually sickening. It makes my stomach hurt because how could you do that to a piece of you? A child is a piece of you.
Mm-hmm. And both situations, Carly and this other thing that we resist calling a woman, they both are very detrimental situations, however, very different. The circumstances are different, but both very detrimental to our overall community. Because again, as I said before, they don't look at that one person and go, oh, look, that woman, that terrible woman who held her child up as a shield. They tend to go, oh, look what black people do. When they're in trouble, they use their children as shields. That's how they tend to look at it. You know, the media. What was that?
I told We Building over here, I forgive him. You forgot my E, you know.
Oh, there you go again. You about to lose another $5.
No, I'm not. You see Nicole right here. I ain't making a mistake no more. I'm gonna be losing the bets now.
I see you got
lost last week. The week before last, I definitely lost.
You got that big E right there on the screen. I see nobody should be making a mistake.
And you know, Alex, he's not used to winning, y'all. So we're probably gonna hear about this for the rest of the month. So
I always win. You heard what they said in the beginning? You said old school always winning because the new schoolers are tearing the world down.
Oh my God, not all of us.
Not all of you?
No, you know me.
Hey, I know. But listen, you're not, you're right. More of the new schoolers should be like you, and there are a lot that's like you, that's building things up. But we got to shed light on stuff like this. This negativity, you know, we say, okay, we only want positive, and that's great. But these negative things that happen, we have to shed light on it so we know how to recognize things in the future, how to prevent this kind of nonsense from going on, from repeating itself. There's things that we can learn from these type of ridiculous situations, whether it's Carly or whether it's this young lady that used her daughter as a shield.
Yeah, and I just want to say, like, you know, mental health is real. And I feel like people shy away from mental health because it's like when they hear mental health, they always go like straight to a disability or something like that. Or, you know, somebody was born that way, but that's not what all mental illness encompasses. Mental illness can come from a tragic event. You know what I'm saying? Things in your life that have happened to you, your life situation. So I don't know what her situation was. It does not excuse what she did, but that's why we push owning your own business, going to get education, or however you can whatever steps you can take to get yourself out of the situation, we need to take it, because the world is not doing anything but getting worse. The financial institutions are falling. You have to have something in place to build for your children, so you're not in a situation like this where you just out here making stupid ass, reckless decisions, endangering you and especially your kids.
And also, Nicole, what I want people to understand too, like you said, mental illness is a very real thing and should be taken very seriously. But what I don't want people doing, okay, is going out here and knowingly fucking up and then want to use mental illness as a crutch, because you get that a lot too. People know it.
Well, yes, I have seen that. I have seen that.
Okay, my mother always said a crazy person would shit and play in it. Okay, so you can't sit up here, kill 3 or 4 people, hide bodies, okay, run, hide, manipulate family members and friends as if you didn't do it, lie to court, lie to police officers, and say you crazy. You knew exactly what you were doing.
Yeah, I totally agree. We building over here. I totally agree with you and Alex, because he basically typing exactly what you saying.
Okay, yeah, there you go.
Yeah, I definitely feel that is a way out. You know what I mean? I think it's what made me say that was when Alex said, being conscious, observing these things in people. You know what I'm saying? Instead of just writing people off, that's not none of my business. We need to go back to clip 1, minus the violence. But we need to be helping each other. We need to be reaching out our hand to each other and holding them accountable. So I totally agree with that.
Yeah. And one thing, Nicole, let me ask you this, okay? Because we want to reach out and help folk. We want to enlighten folks, build people up. Mm-hmm. But sometimes we do that to our detriment, because some folk either can't be helped or don't want to be helped. You'll be surprised the amount of people who just love to wallow in their misery and pretend as though they want help. So what I'm asking you is, when do you cut it off? You can't help everybody. How do you know when somebody's full of shit and like, I can't help this person?
Well, let's just go ahead and be honest for a second, Alex, and I don't mind anything that you say at this point right here, because me personally, that is actually something that I deal with. I'm a big helper. I'm a big giver. I want to see the best in everybody. I want to extend opportunities. I want to treat. Well, I don't want to. I do. I treat people how I want to be treated, and more times than not, unfortunately, it bites me in the ass. You know what I mean? So it's kind of hard to gauge that, but I just try to give people the benefit of the doubt. But you're right. Sometimes, there are people that just can't be helped. And it's some people that, quite frankly, you just should not be using your time for them. But it's hard for me personally. And I say you can say whatever because you actually know me.
Yeah. And it's hard for me as well. I do a lot of helping folks myself. I've reached out. I've done things, kept my word, the best I know how. But again, when folks want to blame you for something, they're looking for somebody to blame, or they don't want to take responsibility for their own bullshit or what. It's like, when do you cut stuff off because it's affecting your life negatively? It's to your detriment that you care so much, and you have to learn how to.
I'm sorry.
No, you just have to learn how to pick and choose your battles more carefully. That's all I'm saying.
Sure. And it's like, how they say when a woman's fed up, you know what I'm saying? Or when a man's fed up, only when you get to that point. But like, it's kind of like you have to just get to that point of being tired, and understanding all kinfolk ain't skinfolk. Everybody's not meant to come with you on your journey. So I think it's kind of like trial and error type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
But you do definitely have to grasp that at some point. Are you just going to be spending your life giving yourself to somebody else and you never accomplish your goals? And it's a harsh thing sometimes. Well, people take it like that. I'll say that, or they'll make you feel bad. But it's like at some point, I'm helping you get to where you need to go. I need to go where I'm going as well. Hello.
And you know, it's hard for people to realize, Nicole, when people reach their bottom and they're at their worst, it's hard for them to imagine that something that they did, a decision that they made, a person that they brought into their life, something that they did, which was their responsibility, caused their demise.
For sure.
That's hard for people to reconcile with. Okay? So they look to blame other people. You know what I mean? But I guarantee you, 9 times out of 10, a decision you made caused your demise.
I definitely agree with that. People act like there are no consequences or repercussions to their action. You know, if you big and bold enough to do something, you be ready for the action. You know, I feel like in all entities of life, that is the concept. You know what I'm saying? If you want to be spiritual and go to church, is you reap what you sow. If you in the streets, what goes around comes around. If you believe in science, every action has a reaction. You know what I'm saying? So in every instance, if you're ready to put your foot out there, be ready for it. Might get stepped on. You know what I'm saying?
Because I would be very interested to know some of the background of this woman's history that used her daughter as a shield.
Me too. Yeah, me too.
What was her upbringing like? Who was her parents? You know, was there abuse in her home? Was there drug use? Was she sexually assaulted several times? How many kids do she have? I would love to have some of that information.
So let me pause you right there. Let me pause you for just 1 second because I heard what you and We Building Over there says. So when you say that, I want people listening here and on the playback, and hopefully you hit that like button. But it's not an excuse, but they are sometimes reasons why certain things manifest. So I'm with you. Like, I'm curious to know what the background is. And while it's not an excuse, it definitely plays a part into decisions that are made. I think.
That's right. And absolutely. I'm curious about Carly's background, Carly Russell. What led her to do what she did? What's going on in her life, her background, her upbringing? Something led to
I'm glad you brought that up because I actually talked about it when I talked about Carly. So let's talk about it for a second because we don't know this lady that was in this clip's background. But the background that we heard about Carly is that her parents are together. They're a well-to-do family. We know that she lived with them still at the age that she is. Being that I come from a similar background, however, I was definitely gone at 17 and a half, okay? But my parents were together before I got here. They're still together and very so much in love now. And I was an entitled, spoiled brat. You know what I'm saying? So I did a lot of stuff when I got out here into these streets to just basically get away and feel like I was breathing and made dumb choices. So all the time, it's not about your background. It's definitely about that individual and the choices they make. However, like we're saying, sometimes your background does play a part in what manifests when you're older. But at the end of the day, no matter what, you the one who makes the choices and you the one who gonna have to deal with them choices, period.
Yeah. You have a household.
Hey, D Chief.
D Chief. Dark Bull Hughes. What a name. Wow.
What's going on? But
welcome in. But you get, Nicole, you get households with, let's say, 2 parents still together, like your parents, been together forever, right? Mm. Parents been together forever, 2-parent household, same parents, 4 children. One's a physician, one's a lawyer, one's a judge, and the other one's a thief and a criminal. Okay, how do you blame the parents for that?
You cannot. You cannot. That's why I made sure that I said at the end of the day, you are responsible for your choices. You can't go to court and be like, yeah, well, I did such and such and so because I only had a mama. I only did such and such and so because my daddy yelled at my mom. You know what I mean? Like, at the end of the day, you're responsible for you, so you have to make a choice. And I always say that the background doesn't matter because you can get a criminal from a great household or a fucked up household, and you can get a fucked up person from a great household or a fucked up household. It is up to you as an individual to make the right choices. And if you make the wrong ones, then you deal with the consequences. Period.
And you know what? You know what that's a result of? It's all about a result of what do you open your mind up to? What do you open your mind up to, and what do you open your eye gate up to? Because whatever you expose yourself to most, you're liable to become.
Yeah, I agree. Look at you and we feeling over here. So y'all just tag teaming us with the old schoolness, okay? Because he said my pops left me with these words: trees don't hang around with the grass, even though they all started in the same place. Old school knowledge. Come on, Alex, and we building over here.
That's it.
I definitely agree with both of y'all. Hey, Mal One Vision. I definitely agree. Y'all know I'm not with the sugarcoating. I'm not with the sugarcoating. And quite frankly, I'm not even a person who can grow from somebody sugarcoating things with me. I think that a lot of times people feel entitled and do too much because they've been around too many people sugarcoating shit.
Yeah. Yeah. And what you're raising, what we have in society today is a bunch of what they used to call old school soft shell crabs. Okay. Can't deal with nothing. Everything's about, oh, now I'm depressed. Oh, now I want to, unlive. I don't want to live anymore. Oh, I want to starve myself. I can't deal with any kind of letdown or adversity or anything. They're a bunch of weaklings. They're a bunch of wusses. They living for likes on social media and can't deal with real life's issues because we're trying to protect them from everything. We got to let them go out there and take their lumps. Like the prodigal son, that old famous biblical story. Go out there and take your lumps.
Yeah,
okay?
For sure.
You come back, I may hug you or whatever, but go out there and take your lumps.
And I'm gonna tell y'all a funny story. You know what I'm saying? Because you can't shame me with anything I've done because I was there. I did it. So I'm gonna tell y'all a funny story. Prime example of you making your own decisions. So I got sent to boarding school. I'll tell y'all the reason some other time. But I got sent to boarding school when I was in high school. And I was there with a lot of others. I'm rubbing my hands to tell you what complexion I am. And some of them were cutting themselves, right? And so I got mad. I came back home and I got mad at my mom and I said, you know what, I'm gonna try this. I'm gonna try that. I'm gonna try that cutting. You know what I'm saying? And I took a safety pin and I opened the safety pin and I touched it to my skin and I said, this is the dumbest shit that I could have ever thought of. Like, what do I look like hurting myself? You know what I'm saying? In that moment, you have to make a decision. Why would you make a decision that harms you? You know what I'm saying? So it's not about who raised you per se. It is a factor. But at the end of the day, after all of that, you are your own person and you have to make a decision. You don't just follow people. You don't just make decisions out of emotions. You have to sit back and think. And you say this all the time, Alex. People are in jail for 5 seconds of them not being able to control their emotions. People are dead from 5 seconds of them not being able to control their emotions. So who knows what mind state she was in when she stole the stuff? Because after that, you have to go further, the high speed chase and the using her daughter as a shield. But in those moments, she wasn't thinking about anything.
No, she was self-absorbed. My survival. I gotta get away. Me. Forget everything else. Forget her daughter could get shot in a hail of gunfire. Forget all of that. I have to get away. Her focus was on her, and her motherly instincts never kicked in. Never,
not one time. Not from the beginning to the end of that. And I just feel so bad for the daughter. So my prayers go out to that child because, just imagine the realization that your mother would even do that to you. You know what I mean? And then she's going to turn into a grown person because you're saying Why is it trauma? Why is it what you go through? Why is it your parents? Look at this 14-year-old girl that just dealt with this. If she doesn't get the right help or talk to the right people, who knows what her next action is going to be. You know what I mean? It matters.
The cycle can continue if she don't deal with this trauma and get some help.
Exactly.
Because this traumatic for a 14-year-old. It would be traumatic for a 30-year-old. Okay.
Yeah, your mama doing it to you? Absolutely.
So if we have to recognize her, she's gonna have to recognize her. Somebody else that loves her, because clearly her mother don't. So somebody else that loves her is gonna have to step in and get her the help that she needs so she can have a fair chance to go out in here into the world and be a productive, honest human being and live her life to the fullest, to all her capabilities. Somebody got to step in.
For sure. So with that being said, keep fighting, Black people. Keep fighting and start at home. Do better at home because that's where everything starts at. And before we get out of here, make sure that y'all are subscribed to my wonderful co-host, Alex, which on YouTube, he is Magnetic Repellant. His link is definitely in the description at all times. Make sure that y'all check him out because he has great content on his own. Anything you want to say, Alex, before we get on out of here?
You know, I just want to say this was very emotionally jarring for me, particularly in the beginning, the story with the brawl. And I just want to say this before we close out of here. If you are let's say you're in an abusive marriage and your husband's been abusing you for 10 years, right? You decide you getting out of this marriage and you want to leave and you leave, okay? If that marriage is to ever get back together, do you go back and apologize to your husband for leaving? Or do he come apologize to you and be sincere and get the help that he needs? Who is the onus on to better that situation? The onus is on the husband. Okay? This is what it's like dealing with white America right now. Y'all been abusing us for 30 plus years. The onus is on you guys to do the right thing and fix the wrongs that you've done. You don't want to do it, so now it's chaos in the streets. And it's going to be more and more chaos until you fix what you've done. The sins of the father are visited on the sons. This is what you're seeing today.
Well, we'll be here, same time, same place next week. We out of here.
This is TheeEnicole. You can always call me E, but don't never call me Nicole. Your presence is appreciated. Please be sure to hit that like button and that subscribe. It's always a vibe. In my
Hey, it's Shonda Frey from Ready to Love, and you are watching my girl, TheeEnicole.
Tasha Lyons telling you to tune into TheeEnicole.
This is Samson from Ready to Love, and you're tuned into TheeEnicole.
It's Winter from Love America DC, and you're tuned in to TheeEnicole.
Make sure you guys